I want to tell you something that most people do not know about me. When I was young, I failed. Not once, not twice, many times. I applied to 30 different jobs after university. Every single one said no. I applied to Harvard 10 times. 10 times they said no. When KFC came to my city, 24 people applied. 23 got the job. I was the one they did not choose. I remember standing outside that KFC, watching the other people walking for their first day of work, and thinking that even a fast food restaurant did not want me. That feeling is very difficult to describe. It is not just sadness. It is the kind of quiet, heavy feeling that maybe the world is trying to tell you something. Maybe you are just not someone things work out for. For a long time after that, I waited. I waited for someone to see me differently. I waited for someone to give me a chance. I waited for the right opportunity, the right timing, and the right person to believe in me. And while I waited, nothing changed. Because nothing was going to change. Not until I understood something very simple and very hard at the same time. Nobody was coming. No one was going to wake me up and hand me a different life. No one was going to look at me and say, "Jack, we were wrong about you. Here is your opportunity." That moment was never going to arrive. And the day I truly understood that, something changed inside me. Not because it was good news, but because it was honest news. And honest news, even when it hurts, gives you something to work with. I was sitting at a table with a piece of paper, and I wrote down one question. If I start tomorrow with exactly what I have right now, what is the smallest possible thing I can actually do? Not the plan, not the vision, not what it would look like in 5 years, just tomorrow, just one thing. And I wrote down an answer. It was small. It felt almost embarrassingly small compared to everything I wanted to build. It was something I could actually do with what I had. And the next morning, I did it. Not perfectly, not confidently, but I did it. And that one small action was more important than every big idea I had been carrying around for years. Because it was the first real thing. And real things, no matter how small, have a completely different weight than ideas. Ideas float. Real things are solid. You can build on them. The moment you do the first real thing, even a very small one, you stop being a person who is thinking about starting and become a person who has already started. That change is small from the outside. Now I want to talk to you about what I learned. Not the short version, the real version. Because I have said take responsibility many times in many speeches. I have watched people nod their heads and then go home and do exactly what they were doing before. Hearing something and living it differently are two completely different things. So, to explain it honestly, in a way that might actually change something for you today. You will never receive help. I received help. I found good people along the way. I had team members who believed in the vision. I had moments of luck and good timing. But here is what I understood clearly. None of those things could replace the central decision. The decision to begin. The decision to continue. The decision to take what I had and build with it, even when what I had was very small. That decision belonged only to me. No one else could make it for me. And until I made it, all the help in the world would not have moved my life forward. Because help can open a door. But you are the one who has to walk through it. Responsibility is not about being alone. I want to be clear about this. You can have people who love you, people who support you, people who want good things for you, and you should treasure those people deeply. But even with all of that support, you are still the only person who can do the specific work of becoming who you need to become. Nobody can study for you. Nobody can practice for you. Nobody can build your discipline for you. Nobody can decide to keep going on the hard days for you. Those things have to come from inside. And when they do not come from inside, every resource on the outside stays mostly unused. This is something I saw many times when building Alibaba. We had people with great talent who were waiting for the perfect moment to fully commit, waiting until the business was more stable, waiting until the direction was clearer, waiting until they felt more confident. And while they waited, the people next to them who were less talented but more committed moved forward. Not because commitment is magic, but commitment is the thing that turns what you have inside you into something real in the world. Without it, everything you are capable of just sits there, unused, like a book that was never opened. Let me say something that I think about often, because it captures this idea in a way that is very difficult to argue with. You cannot hire someone to do your push-ups for you. Think about that carefully. If you want a strong body, you have to do the exercise yourself. No amount of money can change that. No friend, no connection, no relationship can change that. You have to show up and you have to do the work. And the strength that comes from it belongs only to you because you were the one who built it. Life works exactly the same way.
Yes, life works exactly the same way. All right, beautiful people, how are we doing today? Can you guys see me clearly? And can you hear my voice clearly? Am I radiating at the end of your devices clearly? All right, beautiful people, how are we doing today? My name is Jake Hegi, and it's amazing to be here with you all. It's amazing to be here with you all. All right, so you guys might need to bear with me with my, I don't know, the camera quality. I'm currently using my desktop and on my laptop, and I think the camera is acting out interestingly, but you know what? Let's just stick to the conversation. Nothing is going to stop this conversation today. I'm excited to be here with you all today. How are your weekends going? All right, so right before we get started, I'd like you to type in the comment section your name and where you're joining us from today. All right, so my name is Jake Iheyi. I'm currently joining in from the city of Owerri. I was in Abuja just a day ago, and I'm currently here in Owerri. That's why it's very important to say your name and where you're joining in from, because you might be joining in from XYZ location today and we still think you're there, and tomorrow we're like, oh wow, oh, so you're in China now. Oh wow, so you're in Lagos now. Oh wow, so you're in Rwanda now. Oh wow, so you're in Dubai now. Yeah. How are you guys, how are you doing today? Right, so if you're hearing the sound of my voice clearly and you're seeing my face as well clearly, kindly drop some emojis, drop some reactions. Yes, and my people on YouTube, how are we doing? Yes. So we're streaming live on YouTube right now, right? So wherever platform you're joining in from, like I said, we like to do introductions, your name and where you're joining in from. And I also like to ask a question. If today if you can express your day or put your day and someone say, hey, how's your day going? And you can express it in a meal. This is a meal. I can say, oh, my day, explain the way your day is going in a meal. For me, if you ask me, Jake, how's the day going? And I'm using meal, I'll say, oh, village rice and asun. Village rice and asun, that's how my day is going. How about you? How's your day going? How's your day going? All right, so we're going to jump into it because we took quite some time to get started, about 11 minutes, right? So we're just going to jump right into it. So my name is Jake Iheyi. I am the CEO for Quantum Africa, right? Let's just leave all that, start with introductions, right? So if you're hearing Quantum Africa for the first time, or you see my face for the first time, right? So Quantum Africa is a community, right? Not just a community. We are a startup that's working on some solutions, and one of the key solutions, our mission, our vision, right, is to help sell any property within 24 hours using blockchain, AI, and robotics, right? To sell property faster. You might ask how. You know how a lot of persons, right, they choose to invest and okay, I want to invest for land banking purposes. And when it's maybe they've waited for a period of time and they feel like, okay, I want to sell my property right now. I've gotten some appreciation. I'm in the time of need where I put this money as an investment. So I'll use it at this XYZ time. And when it gets to time, personally, a lot of people reach out to me, they want to sell their property. So I know how long sometimes it can take. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes weeks, depending on how where that property is positioned and you know how people might just be looking for it, right? But it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, right? So we saw this problem and say, okay, we want to solve this problem. Interestingly, we've been on this journey for a couple of years now. This is not our first year, not our second either. And we've been doing amazingly well. We've been able to craft up some solutions and we're almost there, right? So just looking out, right? All right. So why are we having this conversation? Why are we here? Yes, I'm telling you about Quantum Africa, but why are we here? Right. So this is the Quantum Africa series. If you're watching me today, it is the Quantum Africa series. So the Quantum African series, right, is a weekly conversation, right, where we explore different topics. It's a weekly conversation around the blockchain, around AI, artificial intelligence, around robotics, and on the African real estate market, right? Real estate, and it's not just uh, uh, what's the word? It's not just secluded to just the African real estate market. So we try to explore different markets, updates, and all of that. So if you join every time, if you're joining this conversation, you're going to be hearing information around different markets, around the AI, around African real estate market, and whatnot, right? So we tend to do this conversation every week. We do it on X space, that's Twitter, every Thursday, 7 p.m. And we continue on YouTube every Saturday, right? 7 p.m. West African time. It's been an amazing time. We've had several conversations. Last week, the conversation we had was, will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? And it was an amazing discussion. So this week, we're having a different topic entirely. And that is, what if every African real estate had AI security systems? I know how AI is just the boom. It's what's happening every day. You're seeing one update about one AI, one large language model, right? AI this, AI that, this company that, and that's just the thing. That's just the conversation, right? And a lot of people are integrating artificial intelligence in everything they do, their businesses and their homes and XYZ, right? We're just talking about how we're going to use robots for, right? Will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? And most of the solutions revolved around artificial intelligence, right? So we're now here talking about, or we're here now to discuss, what if every African estate had AI security? Guys, can you hear me? I'd appreciate if you can drop comments, you can drop some reactions, share your thoughts on the chat box so we can have this. This is a conversation. It's not a teaching. It's a conversation. I come here, share some insights that we've gathered, across different platforms and across different verifiable resources. And we say, okay, let's come out here and have this conversation around these conversations or around this topic, and with all this information that we've gathered, genuine information that we've gathered. So if you were to ask me, and it's a question, right? This is going to be a question and answer. So let's engage, right? So if I was to ask you, right, What if every African estate, African home had AI security system? What would your answer be to that question? Personally, short answer, Africa's real estate industry would become significantly safer, smarter, and more valuable. It is going to be more valuable. Welcome, right? But there is a but. It could also become one of the most heavily monitored living environments in history. The future of real estate security is no longer just about the typical, the norms, which is gates, fences, security guards, CCTV cameras. The future is becoming around and revolving around artificial intelligence, smart surveillances, computer vision, predictive analysis, facial recognition, autonomous patrol robots, AI powered drones, smart access controls, right? But the question is no longer, can AI improve estate securities, as we've already seen and we know that yes, it can. The answer to that is already yes. But the bigger question is, can Africa adopt AI security without sacrificing privacy, freedom, and trust? What do you think about that? First, while you're dropping your answers in the comment section, what is an AI security system for people who are saying, wow, this sounds new, right? Many people think AI security simply means installing cameras, but not quite. That's not entirely what it is, because traditional CCTV records what happened, right? AI attempts to understand what is happening. For instance, now, let's say a modern AI security camera, it can detect suspicious movement. It recognizes faces, like it runs very, very fast facial recognition system across whatever resources it's given, right? It can read your vehicle number plate, right? Because you see sometimes when people are driving and they're passing, or you're just, maybe you get stopped by a police or a road safety, and they run your license plate and they tell you you've offended, you've violated one law because you ran a red light, but you don't know that the red light has some sort of camera that's somehow connected to one smart artificial intelligence, or one smart uh, what's called, something that runs through your plates, right? And after you pass, it saves it captures your vehicle number, saves it on record that you violated. So anytime they catch you, that's what it is. All this AI can detect an abandoned object. It can identify weapons, right? It can alert security teams automatically that, hey, this person is with a weapon, or want or something, or even for emergency. It tracks unusual behavior, reads your emotions, right? Like, it has gone really crazy. It monitors crowd movements. It can predict security threats. So instead of watching thousands of videos feeds manually, AI watches continuously. So why does this matter to Africa, right? Security remains one of the biggest concerns affecting home buyers, property investors, commercial developers, multinational companies, diaspora investors. I have a lot of people abroad that want to secure properties, and their complaints are either security or property title, or it's just around security. So people often ask before buying a property, how secure is this estate? Especially with some of the news going around in some locations in Nigeria. So people want to know, is this place safe? I hope it's not something that there's going to be stories tomorrow and I can't go to where I'm securing property. But in many cases, security determines property value almost as much as the location. So the global smart security market is growing rapidly, right? So let's say, for instance, now artificial intelligence is becoming one of the fastest growing segments of security industries. Government, businesses, we're saying airports, we're talking about smart cities like Dubai, right? And residential estates are investing billions in AI-powered surveillances, intelligent access control, and automated monitoring systems to be able to, get this security thing, grab it by the bull's horn. But this means that the technology entering Africa estates tomorrow are already, being tested around the world. Now, just imagine this. Are you guys still with me? Please, if you're with me, drop some reactions so I know that yes. Got people listening. All right, thank you. All right, so I was going to say, imagine this. You drive towards your estate, right? Just imagine this now. You're going to your house from work. You're driving now. You get to your estate. You drive towards your estate. Now, before reaching the gate, right? AI has already recognized your vehicle from the gate, verified your license plate, confirmed your identity. Now, there's a CCTV camera at your gate, and it's just watching you, reading your plates, checking the image behind the wheel shade or wheel screen, right? Wheel screen, right? It opens the gate automatically after it has checked your face. It logged your arrival, alerted your smart home that you're driving towards it. So, either your family will be aware or something without speaking to anybody, carries out this task. That's the future that already exists. That future, it already exists in some smart cities. I talked about some smart cities, Dubai, some other locations across the country or across different countries. But what if every African estate had AI security? Let's imagine the possibilities. Right? If every African real estate had AI securities, what's going to happen? The crime detection becomes proactive because today security often reacts after the crime has happened. You want to be calling 911 and XYZ. But with AI, that changes. And instead of simply recording the theft, AI can detect someone is climbing a fence, unusual movement at maybe midnight, 2 a.m., unauthorized vehicles, right? I don't know this vehicle, I don't have this plate, right? I detect the crime, right? First entry attempt. Someone trying to bring it to your house, just hits, hey, someone hits an alarm. And it notifies the security before all this situation escalates. That shifts security from reactive to predictive. And that's one of the great things with AI. Like it's shifting things and the perspective and a lot of things to predictive so that you can react accordingly. Right. And number two, for instance, visitor management becomes smarter. Now, imagine a visitor arriving at your place. Now, instead of paper logbooks like some estate do, they have to log the names, right? Or they take manual phone calls to call your home, right? Or there's a long gate queues because there are some estates you go into because of this security check. There are a lot of persons, right? There are queues and it takes time. Now with AI, you could verify the identity of whoever it is, right? Generate digital visitor passes or automated generation of and logs it on the system, right? It notifies your residents automatically that hey, got someone that's looking for you, right? And it tracks the entry and the exit times automatically rather than what we have humans doing. This improves both the convenience and accountability. The same thing with, let's say for three, you have missing children or elderly people can be found faster, right? Let's say large estates often face situations involve missing children, elderly residents wandering away, lost visitors. Now, AI-assisted cameras can quickly trace the movement across the estate. Where did this person take it? So they know the specific place to go after these persons. And meet minutes, because we're saying it's not about, okay, even though with cameras, we know where they take, right? But with AI automated systems, we can detect and alert people immediately that things happen because every time counts when it involves human lives, when it involves people. Minutes matters during emergencies. There's also the smart traffic management. Many premium estate experience congestions, right? AI can be optimized because it checks the vehicle flow, parking allocations, visiting routine, emergency access, right? It helps reduces delays. And there are lots of it. There's the emergency response improves. For instance, now imagine AI detecting fires, detecting smoke, flooding, gunshots, medical emergencies before someone calls for help. It has already done that, right? Emergency teams could respond much faster and the situation gets resolved much faster. Guys, are you getting value? Does this make any sense? And do you agree with me? Please share your own. What do you think, like if AI, right, where securities in Africa, how would it benefit the people and what are the advantages? What are the advantages? Let's talk about AI drones, for instance, because that's the next frontier. Now, imagine autonomous drone uh, patrolling estates, right? We have all these drones where you fly just to take aerial footage of locations, and you just have these AI drones just patrolling the estate and checking around. Now, instead of relying on guards, right? AI drones could patrol large communities because they're just checking the area footage of everywhere, right? And they use this a lot. You see, the military use this when they're trying to check out, or they're trying to monitor maybe crime and all of that. They're just surveilling a specific location from up the sky. You wouldn't even know that they're monitoring the entire location, right? So this helps them. You can respond to alarms or emergencies. You're able to monitor any blind spots that cars probably can't even get into. You're able to provide aerial surveillance from the top. You are seeing bird's eye view, right? You're able to support emergency operations. This technology is already tested in multiple countries. Like I even mentioned, how the military used it. So it is happening. So what about AI security robots? Another emerging trend is robotic security. We just talked about how robots eventually build houses faster than humans, but someday we're going to have a conversation around, will AI or will robots eventually safeguard homes and environments and communities faster, better, and at scale than humans? And that's going to be a yes answer, most definitely. Because imagine robotic patrol units moving through your estate at night, right? They can detect unusual activities smarter and faster than humans because they can scan the areas, communicate to security teams automatically without even having to kill the phone. They can record the incidents, issue warnings, patrol continuously without getting tired. Like humans, you get tired. You're not a machine. But unlike humans, right? Robots do not get tired. They do not become tired unless they don't need to charge, right? So top globe and interestingly, let's move this conversation to companies, right? Because there are some top global companies that are leading AI security. These organizations are helping shape the future of intelligent security, and I'm going to mention a few of them. Let's start with Axis Communications. Axis Communication is a Sweden company, and they are leader in smart surveillance, AI-enabled cameras, intelligent analytics. There's also Hikvision. Hikvision is Chinese, right? It's one of the world's largest manufacturers of AI cameras, smart monitoring, intelligent security system. There's also Motorola Solutions, right? This is a USA organization, and they provide AI command centers, smart emergency systems, integrated security platforms. There's also Nightscope. So Nightscope is also USA. They are known for autonomous security robots, AI patrol systems, commercial surveillances, and their robots already patrol shopping centers, campuses. They have some in campuses, they have some in hospitals and some corporate facilities. So it's remarkable. You want to check them out. There's also a number of them. There's also Vacada. It's also USA. They're focused on cloud-based AI surveillance, smart access control, building security. So there are a lot of them that you want to look at. But then again, these are internationals. Now let's bring them down to Africa. Some of African AI security pioneers. Now, because Africa's ecosystem is still developing and they're doing remarkable, but several organizations are helping drive intelligent security solutions. And there are so many of them, but I'm going to mention a few. For instance, number one is like Cassava Technologies. Now, Cassava Technologies are building cloud and AI infrastructure that supports future smart city and security development. There's the liquid intelligence technologies, and they're expanding cloud services, expanding in AI infrastructure, expanding in smart connectivity, and these are critical for future AI security ecosystems. Like really, really critical. There's also the Vumacam, one of Africa's most recognized AI assisted CCTV networks. So they are focused on urban surveillances, crime detection, smart city monitoring, There's also CSIR, right? These ones, they are researchers. They are researching robotics, AI, intelligence, surveillances, smart infrastructure. There's also the one and only Nigerian AI and smart security startups. There are a number of them, right? And Nigeria is witnessing growing innovation around AI powered CCTVs, right? Smart assets. That's what I say, even in Nigeria right now, if you drive past a red light, right, there's a high chance that any one day that the road safety agent stops you and they run your car plates, they're going to find that you violated this. I was watching a video where an influencer was complaining about a last man stopped him and they ran this plate and they told him that he has to go pay a fine because he had a number of violations. I was like, one day he took one way, one day he did that. The camera already, took his captured that violation and reported it. Right. So there are lots of organizations doing things around that. That's where you see how they have those AI powered CCTVs, smart access controls, estate automation. Some estates you're trying to log in, you already have all those platforms where AI is usually, at the gates helping all of that with cameras, logging the informations of people. Right. There's also IoT security solutions. So many remain they still remain at early stage, but the ecosystem is expanding rapidly. So how this changes the African real estate is where things become exciting. Because, for instance, now if this comes in and is rapidly used in the African real estate, right? Now, some of the benefits involves like property values will increase, not even may, it will increase because security is one of the strongest drivers of property demand. Right, so safer estates often command higher demands, and higher demands bring about appreciation. That's higher prices. So if AI significantly improves safety, buyers may be willing to pay premium prices because everybody's going to pay premium price for safety, right? The number of persons. There's also diaspora confidence that may grow because many Africans abroad, they worry about security. They worry about security. That's their key focus. One, they also worry about property management. See some of them, they don't want to base in Nigeria, but they want to be coming back often. And when they secure properties, whether it's for commercial, residential purposes, right, they worry about the management. So they will not, because a lot of them have experience where they're putting money and every time they're just selling the money for maintenance, so they just don't want to trust anymore. So that's going to help because AI monitoring may increase confidence in owning property remotely. Some people already have smart homes. We have some of our clients who have, me personally have some of my clients who have smart homes, and from wherever they are, they can use the CCTV, maybe their smartwatch or their devices, their phone, to monitor what goes in and out of their home, right? Through AI monitoring. So that's incredible. And again, insurance may change because insurance companies increasingly reward lower risk environments. So highly secured estates could potentially receive lower premium, faster claims processing, better risk assessment, depending on local insurance practices, right? So on the other hand, there's also the smart estates becomes the new luxury. One of the reasons why a lot of people like investing with us, like securing some of our estates. Now, me, I'm just saying this on a real estate investment or advisor, real estate world advisor aspect, right? Some of the reasons why some people invest and secure plots, secure properties with us is because of most of our estates, if not all, right? We're known for smart luxury estates. All our estates they are going to be features and amenities that revolves around smart usages. You want to go into your house, you can monitor your houses through smart devices from your bedroom. You can say, hey, Alexa, turn off whatever it is appliances you're using in your kitchen. Hey, turn off the TV. Wherever you are, you can just control it with automated features, right? So in the future, luxury may no longer be defined by only the swimming pools, your clubhouses, marble floors, or the kind of paint you use in your house, right? Or not just by greenery. Instead, buyers may ask, does this estate use AI security? Is access fully automated? Can I fully automate my home as well? Can I monitor my home remotely? Right? Is the emerging response is emergency response, AI assisted, right? So technology becomes a luxury feature. But there is a dark side, just like with everything in this life. There's a dark side. Every technological revolution has risk. And one of the big risks that I personally have I've heard people say of or conversations we've had previously is privacy. There's privacy concerns because who owns the surveillance data? It's data. Everything around this AI is data. All this information these people are gathering, this AI is taking automatically because everything that's passing in is saving. It's just say, okay, red flag, green flag, it's saving all this information. So who owns all this data? Who can access it? Right? Who can access it? How long is it stored? These questions become increasingly important. And that's a very, very key question, actually. Right? There's also the facial recognition risk. Facial recognition can improve security, but it also raises concern about misidentification, privacy bias, civil liberties, and the African government and developers will need to clearly safeguard this. There's also cyber attacks. Right? We're talking about the darker side now, the darker side of if every African estate had AI security systems. We've talked about some of the benefits, we're talking about the darker side and the cyber attacks. The smarter an estate becomes, the more attractive it becomes to hackers. Now, it's not just about thieves carrying weapons and coming to your house, it's hackers, people behind the screen and trying to hack that your surveillance system. Right? Because future attacks will target your access controls. They could target that your surveillance system, target resident database. Like I was talking about data, all those surveillance data, who can access it, right? Hackers can. There's also the smart infrastructure. So cybersecurity becomes essential. And it's something people need to understand that as we are moving into this technological innovation, digital evolution, cybersecurity is actually key. That's also one place that people make money from. So you need to start looking at it and taking that serious. There's also the over reliance on AI. A lot of people, humans right now, are reliant on AI. Everybody that's using their phone, most people, their life revolves and depends on their chat GPT, their cloud, their Grok, their Gemini, and XYZ. Right? Because AI is powerful, but it can make mistakes. Today, I think it was yesterday, I was having a conversation with one of the LLMs I use, right? Because I like to have conversations around the solutions I want. Let's have that chat. And I realized that after I uploaded a PDF. I was like, can you read this PDF? And he said yes. Then I intentionally asked it to list out all the things that are in the PDF, just key things, the key notes there. And it gets first, second, but when it starts getting to the third, fourth, fifth, it starts saying something else. I opened it and I asked it, can you read it? He said, yes, it can. We are list it out. And I listed something else. I'm like, guy, yeah, you still have a long way to go. So you're saying AI will take over humans. Still have a long way to go. Because I see a lot of mistakes. So human oversight remains critical in everything. Because if I tell you, okay, create what I want without having to actually checkmate it to be sure that yes, you can read all this information. To just be doing things on its own, and and a lot of humans have become more dependent and reliant on AI, and they just go with its solution without actually having to scan it properly. So technology should support security professionals, not completely replace them. You just let that AI replace everything you're doing. It should support the professionals that you have. So what about security guards, for instance, in the aspect of what the conversation we have? Many people ask, will AI replace security guards? This is the thing that they've always said, right? So probably not. It's probably not going to. The same way they say, will AI take my jobs? Will AI take my jobs? No, it could take your job if what you're doing is repetitive, right, and can be automated. If it cannot, it would need your own input to be able to deliver. So instead, than AI replacing security guards, which it wouldn't, instead, their roles evolve just like every other thing. I think this is something that, yes, is likely going to happen. However, let me give you a bit of an insight into it. AI taking people's job, and let me use one of the most easiest things that we know right now that AI is really taking, like graphic designers, right? AI could easily take a graphic designer's job, but however, it cannot entirely carry out the tasks that humans can think through. Because you're trying to create a flyer right now. I say, yeah, I create a flyer, create an amazing flyer. But when you want to tweak it, and I tell you, yeah, tweak it, you say it's zero rubbish, but a human can literally take that flyer and adds his own creator insights, creator changes on that flyer, and you're like, wow, this is remarkable, right? So the AI just helps reduce the work of him having to create that cry from scratch. AI just does some part of it and it improves it. So that's where they say that human input would be needed, right? So future security personnel may become AI operators, right? So you're using the AI rather than the AI entirely taking your job, because there's some inputs where you might need that human thinking to be able to work at some point, right? So drone supervisors, you have humans handling drones that are surveilling your environment. You have smart security analysts. You have emergency response coordinators. So technology changes job more often than it eliminates it. So it doesn't just take away your job. It just changes the way that job is being carried out. It reduces the human labor, that you have AI doing the tasks that can be repetitive rather than eliminating the job entirely. So what should African developers do now? Right? So they need to start planning smart estates. The next generation of estates will combine AI, Internet of Things, that's IoT, smart assets, intelligent surveillance from the design stage, right? And secondly, people need to start involving in investing in cybersecurity, right? Physical security is no longer enough. You need more than that. You need digital security, because that's becoming equally important. You need to be able to create, thirdly, you need to be able to create ethical policies, because residents should understand what data is collected whenever they are in that estate, and you have all these smart systems. They need to understand why it is collected and how it is protected, because trust is essential. You need to be able to also, fourthly, train security personnel, right? Because future security teams need digital skills alongside traditional security training to be able to carry out these tasks well. Number five is also they need to work with regulators, because governments should establish standards for, I think this is very important, for AI surveillance, for facial recognitions, for data protections, for resident privacy before mass adoption. It's very important. Now, the biggest mistake Africa can make, the biggest mistake is believing AI security is only for luxury estates. Yes, we know that right now Africa is not where the adoption of AI is massive, or how do I put it? It's already massive. There's already mass adoption. It's like where it's already been integrated in all these places that needs it, right? They are adapting slowly, right? But history tells us that technology often become as premium products before becoming mainstream. So the same happened with mobile phones, right? Mobile phones came out as only a selected number of persons that was using it, until right now almost everybody is using a mobile phone. You can afford at least one part of it, if not the luxurious types, right? The same thing with internet access. Everybody has internet access. Before, it used to be secluded, right? It's XYZ set of people that can afford it. CCTV cameras, maybe not everywhere, not all homes have CCTV camera, but a large number of persons can afford CCTV cameras in their homes. Smartphones as well. So AI security is likely to follow a similar path. So finally, before I conclude here, right? Finally, guys, are you guys still following? Are you guys still following? If you are following, please drop in the comment section that you're following. Drop some love. Yes, I can see you. I can see you. All right. So finally, right, final conclusion. So the question is, what if every African So I'm checking my lights. All right, so give me 1 minute. All right, so I have to check my lights. I'm back. Okay, I think I heard a sound, so I have to quickly be sure that everything is okay and nothing is burning. Right, that's very important. The weather is really acting funny these days with electricity. All right, so what if every African estate had AI security system? Right, back to our conversation. Right now, the result could be lower crime, faster emergency response, smarter visitor management, better property values, increased investor confidence, stronger diaspora investors participation, more efficient estate operations. But achieving those benefits requires balancing innovation with responsibility, right? Africa must ensure that smart estates do not become surveillance estates. The future belongs not to communities with the most cameras, but to communities that combine artificial intelligence, human judgment, very important, strong cybersecurity, very, very important, ethical government, very, very, very important, respect for privacy, very, 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 very important. Now, into one trusted security ecosystem, because in the future, people may not simply ask, is this estate secure? They may ask, how intelligent is its security system? Please mute. All right, I think I had somebody trying to speak. But we're going to, now is even the best time, right? If you've been listening for the past couple of minutes, please drop your own input, drop your insight, drop it on the comment section, because in the future, people may not simply ask, like I said something was going. All right, so I think my light has dropped to 1. Like I said, something was burning. I was just looking up my chandelier. Interestingly, my chandelier is bringing smoke. Hey, wait. I don't know what that is, but okay, well, guys, I think we have come to the end of this class, like I said, of this discussion, because if every African estate had AI security systems, right, people may not simply just ask, is this estate secured? They may ask, how intelligent is the security systems? Because we want to consider, a lot of other factors. We want to consider the security, not just the security, but the things that are checkmating that security so people feel safe. So, guys, what is your own opinion? What is your opinion if every African estate had AI securities? Please drop it in the comment section so we can have a discussion around that. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. It's always amazing to have us all here, right? To have this discussion. It's always amazing. Thank you for your inputs. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Justina, for your inputs. You guys are amazing. And please, let's keep the comments coming. Let's keep your inputs coming. And again, this is the Quantum Africa series, and we have these conversations around AI, blockchain, robotics on African real estate market. But it is not just secluded to African real estate market, because we're bringing worldwide information, verified information, and just tell you around how this is affecting the real estate market, or how it is going to affect the real estate market for good and for the darker side as well. And we have these conversations every Thursdays on X, West African time, 7 p.m. West African time. And we continue the conversation on Saturday, the same 7 p.m. West African time. And interestingly, we, aside from this conversation we have here, we also share some of this updates, the insight We share it across our platforms. You can follow us on all our platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. You can search us on all these platforms. Just search for Quantum Africa. You're going to find us. Either you search for Quantum Africa or you search for Q Africa, and you will find us. And that's not all, right? You can also follow our channels. We have a Telegram channel. We also have a WhatsApp channel. That's for inner circle, inner community, where more updates, more information about our classes that we hold often, academy session, certification session. We also have, interesting, let me give you a bit of an update. So we have a physical event coming up soon, which is the Quantum Africa Conference. It's coming up in November. It's going to be an immersive experience, right? When you come there, you're going to have experiences, explore some of all these artificial intelligence resources and items like the glasses, Ray-Ban glasses. I say Ray-Ban glasses, all those 3D glasses, right? You're going to try them out. All those VR glasses, VR games, a lot of experience. There are also some special things you're going to get that you're going to experience, but that information is going to be shared later. So you want to stay tuned. You want to follow us, follow our WhatsApp platforms. I'll drop the link on the comment section so that everybody can have access to it, right? So you can follow our WhatsApp channel. From there, you'll find more information on how you can join our Telegram channels. But you want to follow us across all social media so you'll be able to get more of this information from time to time. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. My name is Jake Arize. Again, I'm going to drop this information. All right. So aside from this conversation we're having here, which is a discussion around specific topics or different topics every week, right? On this Quantum Africa series, we also have other activities. Like I talked about how we have academic sessions and we train people on entrepreneurs, right? We also have book reviews. We have movie reviews. Every week we're having different books. We're reviewing different books, learning from it and how we can implement it into our own lives and businesses and careers. The same thing with the movie reviews. It's always fun, right? So you want to join our community, so you're going to have experiences that's going to blow your mind, and you know that yes, this is a community that elevates your consciousness. Yes. So thank you so much. You have an amazing day. I love you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.